I was given a kind of a gift on a couple of days ago, and I want to pass it on to you. This is just kind of personal. We're learning together from the Sermon on the Mount, and we'll get back to marching through the text. What I want to talk about today really is under the category of a great statement that Jesus makes in the sermon that we'll come back to over and over, Matthew 6:33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be granted to you. And the kingdom, of course, is God at work, where God is present and active. So I have been battling this kind of nasty flu for some time, and everything will be fine, see a doctor, all that stuff, so don't worry about it. But it's just stubborn, and I will not describe it because that wouldn't be edifying. And Nance had gone to speak in Texas recently with the flu, so she is on a pretty heroic journey. And I was just feeling a little bit lonely and a little bit sorry for myself, and said to God, okay, when I feel like this, God, what can I do? How can I be with you? Because it's not going to be naturally a good mood, you know. Walking with Jesus is not the same thing as being in a good mood, although we often get those two things confused. And so, as I will sometimes do, I started the day just listening to a talk that Dallas Wood gave. And it was on, what is it like to be saved? How do you save your life? And it's tied precisely to Jesus' command, seek first the kingdom. The question was not, how do you get your soul saved? We'll sometimes in the church use that kind of language for how do you make sure you're going to go to heaven when you die. But this is, how do you save your life, like your actual life, from one moment to the next? Because salvation, Dallas said, is never there, it's always here. It's never then, it's always now. And the primary synonym, at least certainly one of them in the Bible for salvation, is deliverance. Talked about old story in the Old Testament where Jonathan, King Saul's son, waged a great battle against the Philistine. And so they talk about how he has won this day a great deliverance, a great salvation for us. Well, what are you being delivered from? What are you being saved from? And often we'll think about that in terms of being saved so that I can go to heaven and not go to hell, that's primarily what it's about. But really, deliverance, where salvation is to come for us, is in our life right here, right now. Dallas said the great illusion is that you will be, the world is set up to waste your time. The world is set up to waste your time, and it will do that by trying to convince you that what you do doesn't matter. And if you just did something else, if you had another larger, better, nobler calling or job or whatever, that would be what. And so what you miss is being a part of this moment and bringing to it love and joy and peace, which is where his life is right now. Seek first the kingdom. And it's not looking for something that is esoteric or unavailable to us. In Romans 5, Paul makes this statement that is kind of staggering to me, because I didn't think about things in this way. Paul says, "For if while we were God's enemies, we were reconciled to him through the death of his Son, how much more, having been reconciled," this is Romans 5:10, "shall we be saved through his..." And then what word do you think is going to come next? And I would always think of, shall we be saved through his death? He died, so I get to go to heaven. That's not what Paul says. Shall we be saved through his life? It is his life And not the life just that Jesus lived while he was, the life that Jesus lives right now with you where you are. That's what will save you and me, entering into his life. See, salvation is being caught up in the life that Jesus is living right now on this earth. And one of the ways of talking about that is the kingdom of God. And I can find that. But the problem is, I miss it one moment after another moment, after another moment, after another moment. And it's really very, very simple. It's to recognize Jesus is here. Now he's inviting me to look for his kingdom and to bring love and peace and joy, fruit of the Spirit, into this task, into this relationship, into this moment. And I can do that. See, you can do that. I can bring love. Now, what happened to me a couple of days ago was I was just overwhelmed by the emotion of this, still gripping to me just thinking about that. And somehow it was like a veil got lifted and I could just see it. And at one point my daughter called, and instead of it just being one more phone call, a FaceTime call, it was overwhelmingly clear to me what a remarkable person this is. And what an amazing gift that I should be loved by somebody like that. And so, and again, it's not rocket science. I can just bring curiosity and caring and attention and full presence to this moment. I don't have to generate any emotion. It's just, and then I am being saved by his life because I'm caught up in it. And I'm bringing love. And she just talked through, they were on a little trip. Their oldest kid won $40 at bingo games. So I was like, who knew the kids got the spiritual gift of bingo? And just to be able to find out what was going on and express love and care and concern together with them. And that's the offer in each moment. Dallas said, where Paul says, we are to redeem the time because the days are evil. Your time is already in the pawn shop of lost souls. And the way that works is, I just think, well, this moment doesn't matter very much. And what happens for me, what makes that search for the kingdom so incredibly fragile is that I'm just susceptible to so many stupid thoughts. And they're not, terribly evil. It's just, oh no, I'm comparing myself to this person. Oh no, I'm dissatisfied with that. Oh no, I'm remembering what this person said and that makes me angry. Oh, now I'm thinking about how do I look and I'm not satisfied with that. Oh no, I'm thinking about how much money do I have and what if that's not going to be the right amount. And all of those thought after thought after thought destroys my deliverance in this moment where right now I can be fully present with you and bring the best love and faith, peace, joy that I'm able to with God. So I just wanted to let you know about that. And because I was thinking that maybe that gift from God of being able to see it quite clearly, at least for a few hours, is a gift that God would give to you as well. And you don't have to force it. We should never force it. We never try to make God give us an experience. It's not about the feelings. I can be a deeply feeling person and easy for me to idolize feelings. And that's not the point. The point is just simply, I can, with my will, keep coming back to. That's where that little book, Practicing the Presence of God, is so helpful to me. Just, okay, in this moment, what task do I have to do? What person, if there is one, is present for me? And then God helped me to see the significance of this. Nance was coming home from that trip to Texas last night. She wasn't feeling well. And so I just had this thought. She loves warm jammies, and I had done the wash. So I thought, well, I will put the pajamas in the dryer because I knew when she was getting home. So then when she gets home, there will be clean, warm jammy. And it was like, I get more points for that than lots of stuff I've done that's taken lots more time. Just that thought of, how do I care for this person in this moment with a little touch of creativity or love? We're saved by his life. We're saved by his life. Your time is in the pawn shop of lost souls. The world is doing this to you from one moment to the next. It doesn't really matter. Whether you bring to this moment a heart of love and openness and curiosity and caring, or whether you bring cynicism and ingratitude and simmering resentment and voracious ego, it doesn't really, yet does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And no one has ever known this like Jesus. See? No one has ever offered people into the opportunity of another kind of existence. Jesus will save our lives. And he saves us by his life. So, that's what you look for today. Make it a golden rule day. I love you. So grateful.
If you like hearing John talk about the Sermon on the Mount, we've got a whole series on that. So go ahead and subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future episodes in that series. You can also go back and catch up on any episodes that you may have missed. Now, if you're interested in the email or the text alert that goes along with each episode, you can let us know at becomenew.com/subscribe, and we'll make sure that you get those. If you want to help us spread the word about Become New, the best way to do it is just to watch, like, and comment each video that we put out. So we would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to chime in the comments, that would help us, and we'd love to engage with you there. Lastly, if you've got a prayer request, there's a group of us who meet each weekday to pray for viewers just like yourself. You can send us your prayer request to the number 855-888-0444, and we would love to pray for you. We'll catch you next time.